episode number 146.
Hello, you're listening to the Career Changemaker podcast. Having the courage to leave a career that you have worked hard to build and try something else can be tough. So in each episode, we dive into key career change strategies so that you have a clear understanding of what is required to transition into a new role or a new industry without feeling like you have to start at the bottom or have to take a massive pay cut, because ain't nobody got time for that. If you are ready for frank and honest discussions about how to become a career change maker, keep listening. I'm your host, lawyer turned career strategist and executive coach, Janine Esbrand. Hello, and welcome to the show. I am excited about today's episode. We are diving into how to know what type of career change to make. One of the biggest challenges I see high achieving women who are looking to make a career move face is they don't know where it is they want to head. And that feels uncomfortable, because if you're used to having the plan all figured out, if you're used to being the person who is telling other people what to do, when you're trying to figure out what to do with your career and you don't have the answers, it can feel very, very uncomfortable. So what can end up happening is you think about it, you park it, you come back to it, you think about it, you don't move any further forward, and then you end up being in a space of saying, I might as well just stay where I am and just go with the flow. Well, I want that to come to an end, and instead of you going back and forth in your mind around what you might do and not being able to figure it out, I want to support you by sharing how you can be breaking things down and really considering what type of career change is going to be right for you. There are many different ways that you can move out of your career into a new career or into a new role, or into a new industry, but understanding where you are right now is the first step, and that's going to help you to determine where it is you need to get to and what you need to do to get there. So what I'm going to be sharing with you is a live stream series that I did recently, where I broke down the 3 different types of career moves that you can make. 1 is a shift, 2 is a pivot, and 3 is a leap. So for today's episode, we are going to be talking about making a shift and how to identify whether a shift is what you need to be focusing on. In the next episode, we're going to be looking at the pivot, and in the episode after that, we're going to be looking at the leap. So make sure you're subscribed to the show so that you can get notified when the upcoming episodes come out. But in the meantime, let's dive into this episode on making a shift. I'm going to be talking to you about how to know what type of career change to make. Okay, how to know what type of career change to make. And over the next few days, I'm going to be talking about this topic to help you identify where you need to be focusing your energies, is if career change has been on the agenda, on the cards, in your thoughts. I want you to really be thinking about how to know what the best move is for you. And the reason why I'm bringing this to you via this is because I hear time and time again from the female professionals that I speak to, that I work with, that their first thought when they say, I want to make a career change is, okay, but what else would I do? Where would I go? What would I do differently to what I do now? And so my hope is that as we go throughout these next few days, I'm going to break down the different options for you, and you can identify which option would be the best for you to pursue and help you to get clarity around, well, what types of steps should I be taking so that I can make the type of move that's going to lead to more impact, more fulfillment, and just more enjoyment around the work that I do. Because I think that there are way too many talented female professionals, talented professionals in general, who are sitting in the wrong roles. And when you have the wrong people sitting in roles, what you find is there is frustration, there is disengagement, there are people who are just feeling bored in the work that they're doing, they're feeling unfulfilled. And so if we can flip that, if we can get more people sitting in the right roles, then everybody wins. The organization wins, the individual wins. And so that is what I want to see. And we know that since the global pandemic has hit, it has caused a lot of people to take stock and reflect. is this where I need to be in my career? Is this what I want to be doing in my career? So there's been a lot of reflection. Some people have made decisions. People are moving. There's a lot of movement in the marketplace, but a lot of people have made reflections, right? They've got to the place where they're like, well, I have reflected. I realized that what I'm doing right now is not the right fit for me, but then they don't know where to go from there. Where do I go from there? How do I navigate moving away from what I have known for such a long time into something else when I'm not even sure what it is that I want to move into? So there lies people who are feeling kind of in a state of limbo where you've identified it's time to go, it's time to move, but then I don't know what the ultimate next step needs to be. So it's all well and good there being lots and lots of opportunities right now in the marketplace, and it's all well and good that we know that there's movement, but if there's lots of opportunities but you don't know what the right opportunity is for you, then those opportunities don't really make a difference to you, right? So I want to talk about 3 different ways that you can be making a change, and we're going to be breaking this down. So my mission is really to empower more women to take control of their careers. Like, take control of it. Recognize that you have options. Recognize that what you do next, like, yes, there is the marketplace. Yes, there is your potential employer. Yes, there are people who might need to say yes or no to the move that you want to make. But ultimately, you get to make decisions about where you are going to target your energies, about the direction that you want to take, about how you show up. And so I really want to empower you to take control of where your career goes next. And so the 3 areas that we're going to be focusing on are the shift, the pivot, or the leap. And when I talk about the shift, the pivot, or the leap, I'm talking about the different ways that you can go about making a career change. Oftentimes, if you're feeling frustrated or you're feeling like where you are now is not where you want to be, you might be jumping and saying, well, I'm not happy in this role right now, so I need to go do something completely different. I need to figure out what my passion is. I need to go and, work out where it is I need to be in the world and what contribution I need to be making. And you could be assuming that the move that you need to make needs to be a huge leap. When in my experience, working with lots and lots of professional women, it isn't a leap that is required. It might be that you need to make a shift or you need to make a pivot. For some, a leap is required, but not all of the time. And so what I want to help you realize is career change doesn't have to be equated with a complete change of what you've been doing so far. You don't have to throw away everything that you've been doing in the past in order to make a career change. Career change can happen in different forms, and the way in which it needs to happen for you is very much dependent on the reason why you're feeling unfulfilled and unhappy. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the shift and what does it actually mean to make a shift in your career. And I can then share with you what are some of the steps that you can be taking and how you can be thinking about it. So when it comes to a shift, really, a shift is the path of least resistance when it comes to making a change. The shift might be the easiest option for many. And what that means is the role that you're currently doing right now, if you're going to make a shift, it means that you're either going to be shifting into a different role within your organization. And that could be a shift upwards. So that could mean a promotion, or that could be a lateral move where you say, okay, I'm here, but I'm going to shift into something else internally. Or it could be a shift within your industry. So it could be, okay, I'm shifting out of this role into another role that's similar, but maybe within a different organization. So when it comes to the shift, you're saying, I recognize that I'm here. I recognize that I'm using this skill set. It's not quite working how it is. So how can I make a slight move either in the upwards direction or to the left or to the right so that I'm doing something that is slightly different or it feels different to what it is that I'm doing already. So that is the shift. And that allows you to potentially make a move as soon as possible, right? Because all you need to be doing is saying, okay, I need to move out of what I'm doing right now. So where's the gap there? If you're moving for a promotion, the gap might not be that big. And so you then can work on, well, what needs to happen in order for me to get that promotion? If you're going to be doing a move into a different organization or perhaps a different department, then what needs to happen for you to make that move? And I want to talk to you about 2 things that you need to be doing in order for you to identify, is the shift even the thing that's going to really move the needle for me? Is the shift what I need to do so that I can be feeling better and I can be feeling more confident about my career decisions? So the first thing that really needs to happen in order for you to identify this is an audit. An audit. It blows my mind how often people will say, I'm not happy in what it is that I'm doing. I want to do something different. I feel frustrated. But when I ask them, well, what is it about your current role that you're not enjoying? It's hard for them to articulate that. it's hard for them to really pinpoint what the issue is. And part of that is because they're frustrated, because they're annoyed, because they're feeling deflated, they haven't taken the time to really break down, well, what is it that is causing me to feel that way? So the first thing for you is do an audit. Understand what the problem is. And if you think about any time that you've gone to a doctor, right, you've got a problem. Like say you've got a tummy ache, right? Your tummy's hurting, it has been for some time. You go to the doctor. What does the doctor do? When you go there and you say you have a tummy ache, what does the doctor do? The first thing that the doctor is going to do is they are going to ask you questions so that they can diagnose the problem. They're not going to jump straight in and say, okay, I say I've got a tummy ache. They're not going to say, oh, Janine, you have this problem. That means you need to go and get this medicine that's going to make you better. Because there's various different reasons why I might have that tummy ache. So what the doctor then does is ask questions. They ask questions about how long have you been feeling that way? Has anything changed? What's causing you to feel that way? Have you eaten anything different? Have you experienced anything different? And using all of the answers to those questions, they can then put the pieces of the puzzle together and get to the place where they can give me a diagnosis. And they can say, well, this is the issue and this is therefore what you need to do. So I want you to approach your career change in the same way. So instead of saying, okay, I'm not happy, I just need to go and jump into something else, it's like, wait, let's slow down and let's first do our proper diagnosis of what it is that is the problem. Because then you can say, well, these are the symptoms, then therefore this is where you need to go. So if you're saying, I'm not happy in your career, what is it? What is it that's causing you to feel that way? Break that down, and then that can determine, well, is it that I need to just make that shift? Or is it that there's a bigger move that is required? So that's the first step. Do your audit. Take some time to do your audit. And if you're doing that audit and then you get to the place where you're like, okay, yes, I know that this is the problem and this is where I need to move, then it makes the next step so much easier, right? Then you can map out your plan, then you know what you need to do. But first and foremost, figure out why am I even making the change in the first place. Second thing that you need to do is you need to reflect. You need to take some time to understand the reason why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. So if you identify that the reason why you want to make a move is you're feeling underutilized in your organization, you're feeling overlooked, you're feeling like you're not recognized, then why is that? What is actually going on? Like, what's the reality of the situation? Is it that you haven't been put on good projects? Is it that there's been a restructure within your organization and things have changed? Understand why it is you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Understand what the environmental factors are that are contributing to that, because again, that's going to help you. If part of the reason you're feeling the way that you're feeling is that there's external factors within your organization that is a problem, then maybe it is that could be addressed. Or if it's within your department, maybe that can be addressed, or maybe not. But then you know, is it a change that I can make internally? Is it a change that I need to make externally? If you assess what is causing the problem, then you can go to eliminate aspects of that or look to improve aspects of that. Oftentimes I hear from people that they're not happy in their current role. And when I ask them, well, have you had a conversation with someone about this? Oftentimes the answer is no. Oftentimes people haven't had a conversation, and it could be that a conversation could be had that could really change the situation. It could be that if you make your feelings known, that things could be done about it or not, but it's empowering you to recognize that you can take steps once you identify what is my actual problem. What is my actual problem? And then what is the reality of the situation? Where is the problem coming from? And then what do I need to do then to tackle that, right? So when you're making the shift, the key is have your audit, understand why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling and why I'm here, and then look at the environmental factors that are causing that. And then say, well, how do I make a change now? What needs to change? How can it change? And then that can help you to determine what steps you then take to make that shift a reality. So shift is, for some people, the easiest path that they could take. And sometimes it's often overlooked, where people are looking and saying, well, if I want to make a change, I'm going to have to do something completely different. I'm going to have to take a pay cut. I'm going to have to start at the bottom. Those things are not always required. So I'd like you to be thinking about, can I be making a shift? And I know it's not easy. Even if that's the simplest path that you could take, it's not always easy to figure out, well, if I am going to stay within my organization or my industry, how do I even make that shift? that isn't easy to figure out. And that's one thing that we do inside of my program. Like the second pillar of my program is about helping people to determine what their vision is, where it is that they want to go, and why it is that they want to move, so that they can then map out, okay, well, if that's the vision, that's what I'm trying to get to, then we can work on what the step-by-step plan is. And the plan is going to be different. If you want to make a shift versus a pivot or versus a leap, the way that you go about that is going to differ. I'm going to be talking about the pivot. So the pivot is where you're moving beyond the shift and doing a bit more of a change. I'm going to be diving into when a pivot might be required and what the benefits of making a pivot would be for you, particularly if you are a professional woman coming from a professional services background, lawyer, accountant, someone in finance, marketing, whatever it is, where you've worked really hard to get to where it is that you are now. Understanding how to do the pivot can be really helpful, because I want you to know that the experience that you have right now is not wasted. You get to leverage it. You just need to know how you go about doing that. So thank you for joining me. Are you ready to make bold career moves? Are you tired of coasting in a role or career that is no longer a good fit for you? Are you ready to create more of an impact through the work that you do? And are you ready to get paid more and be recognized for your brilliance? If you are nodding your head or saying yes to any of those questions, then lean in, because I'm about to tell you about my newly enhanced coaching program. The Career Changemaker program, formerly known as the Career Clarity Academy, is my signature coaching program, which is a transformational coaching experience focused on helping you to develop and advance in your career. The program will help you to clarify the type of career move that you need to make next, create an unapologetic vision for your career direction, and leverage your existing experience so that you can make the transition as quickly as possible. It's also going to equip you to articulate your value so that you can really shine and attract stellar opportunities and negotiate those amazing offers. We want to be moving you into the right role that you're really excited about as quickly as possible. I created this program and the Career Changemaker method because it pains me to see so many amazing, brilliant, talented women fall into the category of coasting female professional. And what I mean by that is there are women who are coasting through their day-to-day at work, who are complaining to loved ones about the work that they do and the environment that they're in, who are scrolling job boards looking for inspiration but not taking any action, who typically do what others think they should do rather than what they really want to do, and who feel trapped in the careers that they've built for themselves. What I really want to see is more women adopting the career changemaker status. A career changemaker is the type of woman who makes an impact through the work that she does, who is excited to talk about her upcoming projects, who knows how to network strategically to create new opportunities, who is unapologetic about what it is they want to do and why it is they want to do it, who recognizes new opportunities during seasons of change, and who is really ready to take control of her career so that she can become a trailblazer in an area that she's really passionate about. If you like the sound of becoming a career change maker, then I invite you to make an application for this program. Now, it is an application only program because I want to ensure that only the women who I know can get results will join this program so we can hit the ground running and move you to where it is you want to be. So if this sounds good to you, make an application. You want to head over to lightboxcoaching.com/program, PROGRAM. And there you're going to book a call with me and be directed to a career change assessment. Once you take the assessment, you're going to identify where it is you need to focus in the career change process. And we will have a discussion to see if the program is a good fit for you to get you there and whether you are a good fit for the program. The investment for this program is going up on the 1st of December 2021. So if you are listening to this before that time, I encourage you to book a call, make your application as soon as possible so that you can get in at the current rate. So head over to lightboxcoaching.com/program. I look forward to hearing from you. If you enjoyed listening to today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the show so that you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Also, I would love to know what your biggest takeaway was from this episode. I invite you to head over to our Career Changemaker community over on Facebook so that we can continue the conversation over there. Head over to lightboxcoaching.com/join and it will direct you straight to the group. I look forward to seeing you there.